After I stopped recording the last episode, I noticed this sign floating off to one side of the ramp. So I fixed that and put it back where it should be. Although since I made that sign, I have now moved house and I'm probably about 2 kilometres further now, so ignore that anyway. So, welcome to the South Fiordland Bush Flying Tour. And if you're new to me and this video series, check in the description below and there is a link to the episode in the series which will tell you all about it, where we are and where to get a copy of this South Fiordland scenery yourself. So shall we go full length of the runway or try a takeoff from here and see what happens? And I think we know the answer to that, don't we? Fingers crossed. Okay. Anyway, let's have a replay. Try the shift and number 2 camera, as that should give us a nice view with this one. And that went a lot smoother than I thought it might do. No falling off the end of the ramp, no nearly stalling into the sea. All quite gentle, really. Well, maybe not gentle, but you know what I mean. So back to our flight then, and for this episode the Fjord Tours brochure says, after your breakfast lasagna, which I'm sure you will all have, it's time to continue the tour to Double Peak. And hopefully you did leave a little bit of room, as there is award-winning restaurants at this airfield too. But you can always just have a cup of coffee if you are still full. And hopefully we'll get there, as we do have a bit lower cloud for this flight. Although I think we'll be okay, as a lot of the mountains around here are a similar height. The cloud seems to be just below the tops of the mountains, but the airstrip we're going to is only about halfway up a mountain. So we can always go back to the Hexagon Hotel and have more lasagna if we can't get in there, but I think we'll be okay. And by the way, the fix of the sign at the start of the video, this is still a beta testing flight series for me, so I may tweak a few more things before I finish it all, but I will upload the new version after we finish both the tours and get to the end of the video series, so you can get a copy of the tweaked and finished version of South Fiordland then. And it might possibly have better trees by then too, as these look okay but don't change colour with the seasons. I have looked at that, but forest file documents have got slightly more complicated. To give you an idea, a typical forest file document for Explain 11 would be about 16 or 17 lines of instructions for Explain. Now for Explain 12, I copied an average sized forest file into Microsoft Word just to see how big it was. And rather than 16 or 17 lines, it was 1,896 pages. Not lines, pages. Unfortunately, there are things I can do with existing tree sets, so it's fine, but it might take a while to fully get my head around what's going on to be able to make custom forest sets of my own. Yeah, scenery making for Explain 11 was a little bit easier. Okay, then coming up on bring this flat bit over to the right, so we're okay for visibility and we'll be able to see. And I think the runway was a bit bumpy, so just landing will do. I'm not going to worry about trying to do a good one. Okay, the half dirt runway, half grass option there. I think that's the differential braking thing again, dragging us off to one side if both pedals are not perfectly pressed the same amount. I do actually think that anyway, but it is always nice to be able to blame something else and try and deflect from the fact that the tour pilot has just driven his passengers off the runway and into the grass and possibly ran over a innocent cute little rabbit who was there, if they have rabbits over here. Not really sure about that in Fiordland, to be honest. So we'll just carry on around the corner here where this taxiway goes. And that will eventually bring us here to the apron area of Brian and Edna's Aviation Fuel Farm Produce Tofu Restaurant and Arc Welding. Yeah, some people say they need a bigger plot of land, and that having a forklift drive between the tables of the restaurant, or some guy welding a pipe next to where you're eating your tofu, it can get a little distracting. But it's always busy here, so people obviously get used to it. Now, right, I'll go and see what their coffee's like. That'll do. See you next time.